This is Excellent Men Forever 2 by Fabian Nicieza and Keith Magoo. This was the first ever cover to feature on one of my cover spotlights videos. This is a really good comic, but I have discovered my real superpower is an ability to transform any discussion of a comic book into a diatribe about how much I despise Kurt Busiek. This series is mostly forgotten about, not helped by the fact it has never been collected, and its name was later used for a much worse ongoing series 8 years later. But one of the few times I saw someone mention this was Marvel editor Tom Brevoort. Someone asked him on his blog if Marvel would collect this miniseries, and his response was he just tore into it and said that he thought it was milking the book that he had done with Kurt Busiek, Avengers Forever. Don't get us wrong, there are similarities in theme and purpose, and the title is obviously intentional. But my God, this is so much better than Avengers Forever. I cannot believe that this is what Tom Brevoort truly believes Avengers Forever is like. Avengers Forever is filled with destructive retcons because Kurt Busiek and Tom Brevoort want to exert their own dominance and preference. This has retcons in it too, but these retcons are beautifully woven, satisfying revelations that complement the original stories rather than pithily saying that they do not count. One of our big reveals in this is that the person who assassinated Creed Braxton in the 90s was his mother, Mystique, the sexy Smurf lady. To quickly explain, in the 90s, in the lead up to Operation No Tall Pants, Creed Braxton, he was running for president on an anti-mutie platform. Then he was assassinated, and we never found out who by. It was set up and teased like a big mystery that they were gunning to explore. But after the murder, it was never really mentioned again. It was just this massive loose end. Fabian Nicieza, he had naught to do with that original story. He had been phased out of the Excellent Men books by then. I think he maybe did do some stuff setting up Creed Braxton's campaign, but he was definitely gone by the assassination and Operation No Tall Pants. So this isn't a writer going back and resolving and fixing their own work. This is someone going back and building on the work of others. Our actual plot here is that 5 Excellent Men characters are being sent back in time to re-experience certain key events and to learn from them. And this is one of those events, the murder of Creed Braxton. We have little bits of character drama with Snowman here. He is back in the 90s and he knows that he cannot stop Creed Braxton's murder. He is too far away and he isn't even sure if he should. but he feels like he has to do something. And there's just nought like this in Avengers Forever. It's all just characters sitting around, listening to lectures, or being one-dimensional bastardizations of who they are. The 5 characters starring in this mini-series are the Snowman, Juggernaut, Frog Boy, and obviously Mystique. And now we are time travelling to another hard story, a Christopher Clairvoyant one. This is one of the Christopher Clairvoyant ones I almost like. The one with the Ravers and Legend and Irene from Sherlock dying. We are showing Mystique's actual reaction to her death. Christopher Clairvoyant, he just skipped over that bit because it wasn't about storms. So this is worth seeing. And Mystique, she is having to relive some of her most painful moments. And here comes another useful retcon. Legend, Dan Stevens, he is there, and he was the one who killed Irene. And then in the 90s, Mystique tried to get revenge for it, but it was never explained how she actually even knew that it was him who had killed Irene. Well, now Fabian Nicieza has given us a scene that we never saw before, where Dan Stevens and Mystique interact shortly after the murder. And if I had one complaint, and this is something I pointed out in the original story, and it is more criticism of that, we still haven't seen the sequence where Dan Stevens killed Irene. This one, it does actually establish finally how he was responsible for her death. The best part of this issue, though, is that the all looks so ugly here. We also have this little bit with Snowman, where the full extent of his powers is shown briefly. His mental blocks are removed, so he is able to go in the shower, turn the water on, and then transform himself into water and go down the drains, and use this as a means to quickly travel across the country. The other thing that this issue gives us is a final goodbye between Mystique and Irene. They obviously never got to say farewell since she was murdered. And this gives us what feels like a satisfying ending to their relationship. And then just to make sure I leave the comic in a good mood, on the very last page, we jump to the moment in time when the all died. There is a lot to respect about this book. I love so much of what it is doing. I think continuity inserts are often indulgent and vain and needless. But this isn't the sort of thing you normally have continuity inserts about. This is less about inserting into continuity and more about smoothing over and resolving continuity. This is like the anti-Kurt Busey approach. I put Avengers Forever at a 1. This is at a 9. And the only reason it is not a 10 is because I ate the O. Those numbers are meaningless because I rate them both 7 thumbs up. But unlike Avengers Forever, this isn't getting pulled apart by my hands.